It sounds like he's there to listen and find out what he thinks.
Yeah. Okay. Go to number 5 on the agenda, which is the NCPI election in March. And I think we have one Grantville candidate to recruit. Right, John?
Well, you have two seats up for re-election, Charles Little and Mark Baker.
What about Don Johnson?
Well, that's right, and Don, because at the next meeting, since he hasn't attended, his seat will be declared vacant.
Right.
So you'll have one vacancy.
So it looks like we need a third candidate. Candidates must have attended 3 meetings. The March meeting counts as the third?
No.
No? Okay. So candidates would have the February meeting, that would be the third?
Yes.
Okay. We need to have attended 3. So if anybody knows anybody or is interested, let John know, or whoever's on the elections committee know, let me know, and we'll try to get that seat filled. And did anybody have anything to say on that issue, on the NCPI issue?
Right, I just suggest that if somebody is interested to attend the meeting on the 23rd of February, to fill out an application if they're qualified, and if they're not, they can begin their qualification process at the meeting. I'm not on the elections committee because I'm up for re-election, so I can't comment any further. And the other thing is, I don't know where we're going to be meeting.
Right.
Because that took me by surprise that we're not going to be at the Church of the Nazarene anymore. I haven't heard anything. As soon as I hear, we'll let you know.
John, just a question on that one. Who followed through to find out? Do you know who was involved in finding out that you could no longer leave there? Because back when Matt Affer wasn't paying for it, and he never did pony up for it, even though Don was there at the meeting and they were going to talk about it. Marty wanted to pay for it. She figured they could find $50 in the budget. But I don't even know if anybody talked to her about it. Do you know?
I don't, and that's the first I've heard that she was going to be involved.
Well, it's back when she just thought it was ridiculous that the church wasn't being compensated, and she thought she could find it. So I don't know if anybody actually asked her, now that she's taken office. This was before she was even elected.
I don't know. She was at my community council meeting in St. Carlos last night. It was mainly to introduce her staff and to hear some priorities. And
yeah, I'm wondering if anybody even asked her about it. They might have just figured they can't get $50.
Because Matt wasn't aware of it either. Matt was just told that they can't meet there. We can't meet there anymore.
And they only want $50, John? A meeting, is that all they want?
Well, it's
I don't
only
know.
because they're a community group. Normally they would charge. It's because of the kind of group they are.
Well, I know, but I can't imagine we can't come up with $50 if that's what they're asking for.
Well, I think I'll ask Marty. I have a feeling they probably didn't ask her. They probably just looked at their little dollar amount and said, we can't pay $50.
Yeah, we got 117 in the treasury.
119.
119.20.
Yeah.
Perfect lead-in to the Grantville Action Group Treasurer's Report.
Oh. Well, surprise, surprise. I really wasn't expecting any big fundraising or anything to happen because, it's Christmas, the New Year, times are tough. But I'm kind of busy, and I don't get thank you cards out right away for the people that have donated. We've had, at least 60 people that have donated to us since we started. So I thought, well, I'm going to send them a little thank you, and I'll enclose an envelope for a return and whatnot. And just appreciated the support, and we're fighting for right and being frugal and all that. Well, I guess it was a good thing. Combined with the pass the hat that we got at our last meeting, all of a sudden these checks start coming in. So I had $2,686 to deposit. Which was fine because Craig Sherman then asked me for $2,800 to cover the expenses that he had at that point. So I was very pleased by the windfall, pleased by the support. People are telling us to keep fighting. They're with us. Obviously, they can't always come to the meetings and whatnot, but they're out there. And our current balance in the account is $5,336.35. We're keeping ahead of things.
Okay, and we'll move on to the next item, which is,
Brian,
yes. Betty?
John, I'm up for re-election.
Yes, but you're not from Grantville, you're in Allen Gardens.
Well, I thought we were discussing just
No?
Did you have anything to say on the NCPI issue? And you are going to run?
yes, I'm
Okay. Good. Good. So we're planning on supporting you, of course. And we're open to supporting candidates from any area. They don't have to be Grantville.
Well, there's actually 2 vacant, well, 3 Grantville, but then 2 in the other 3 areas. Like every area has at least 2.
Betty and Cindy Martin. I thought Brian just wanted to hear about Grantville.
Oh, okay.
Betty and Cindy Martin are up for re-election in LA Gardens. Mark Rollins and Corey Sharp in Del Cerro and Pat Jackson Fassett, and yours truly from St. Croix.
Okay, now Corey, in effect, has resigned, right?
Well, he talked. We haven't gotten a resignation from him yet. Corey's resigned 2-3 times.
Okay.
Depends on his state of mind.
So there's still hope. We could talk to him and tell him to stay up there and keep telling it like it is.
Well, I've convinced him to stick around. Otherwise, he would have been gone a while ago. But see, he doesn't have Medaffer to pick on anymore, and that was one of his favorite targets.
It makes it difficult. We need
We do
Jim
kind of miss
around.
him.
He's in withdrawal.
He's been too quiet.
Okay, so moving on to number 7, paid fundraiser question mark. This is something that I had thought about for a while. The theory of hiring somebody to raise money for the Grantville Action Group. Since we are a nonprofit, there may be ethical implications to this. We realize all nonprofits have overhead. Nonprofits do have paid positions. And Fred emailed me a few articles which I scanned. I didn't read through all of them. It was a lot. And there are a lot of ethical considerations here. Kind of the one thing I read kind of laid it out as being maybe not so ethical, but then saying further in it's probably an okay thing to do. In the end, we've got to raise money. And there's overhead, we accept that. So does anybody have a feeling, one way or the other on that? Would you be less willing to donate if you felt that some of that was not going strictly, say, to the lawsuit, or strictly, say, getting out the word about removing eminent domain or improving traffic? And John?
I just have a question about the status of you as a nonprofit. Are you a 501c4? C5?
Linda, what's our nonprofit designation?
I would have to look, because Craig was bouncing around with different ideas. He's the one that submitted it based on the kind of group we are and what we hope to accomplish. So it's five, I think it is one of the 501c.
It's a non-tax.
But not a 3. It's not a-
Probably, I'm guessing it might be a 4.
Yeah, well, that's what most community councils are. I just wondered, because you're right, it isn't tax deductible. people might feel differently about it.